Okay, just let me know when you see my screen.
Not it. Yeah,
You see
now
it?
I can see. Yeah.
Yeah, we see.
Okay, let's see. Okay, just he joined. He just called me. So today we discussed the non-PO. So the non-PO is it's little different.
Hello.
Hi Akshay, welcome.
Hi. Hi. Yeah. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah.
Okay. So I just said, we are going to be discuss about the non-PO today, and you just go to the slash NPO slash OPT slash win, and here we are going to be discuss about the non-PO. So non-PO we have uh, one is the part one where you can park, and other one is approval. So where it is based on the chart of authority that we see yes, saw the yesterday. So these are the two areas that will help to process the non-PO workflow, non-PO approval. So these are the so yeah. Let's discuss in broader way. So where we have the template. So this is a configuration document that we use, and basically whenever we are going to be guys, you can hear me right clearly and everything is fine, right?
Yeah, yeah, I
Yeah.
can.
Yeah. No audible. Yeah.
I don't want to hear any surprises. Okay. So whenever you create any document, first thing you need to choose the template, that you need to create a role and where you need to create a template for that, and then you need to create a process types. These are the ready before you create the DP document. Then you create the DP document type. So whether it is a PO or non-PO, you choose it. Then segregation of the document type. It is a kind of determination of the how you system you want to determine, and if you have the country specific settings. So the same thing here when you go to the customization in the here. First thing you need to do here is you need to create a process configuration. First, you need to go and you need to create a process types. Before that, sorry, before that, I just wanted to relate this one. So first, you need to create a role here. In 9CX5, you create a role, and in the template, you assign the you create the template, and you will assign the a role to the template. And what do you do here? What kind of template you want to choose? Whether it is a RV unit or whether it is the field based or whether it is a function model based. So that is a thing that we do first when we choose, and then later someone has pinged me, I guess. This is Akshay. What is saying? Hello?
Akshay is telling he has a limited access to the meeting. I don't know.
Hi. Sorry. Sorry. I have a limited access. Actually, I was joining on phone, so you can continue. Sorry, you can continue. Yeah.
Okay. Because here, only, 4 participants can join actually. So that is the thing actually here.
Okay.
So, okay. So here, yeah, what we are discussing, the first thing, we create the template. So first we create a role and we create the template, and then we assign the role to the template. And then when you come here in the simple mode maintenance, whatever you assign, whether if it is a field based, then you assign the company code based on the company code or document type like this. So you assign here. This part is completed from the document perspective. Creation of the role, and then now the process types. So now you will create a process type. If you go here, you come to here, and here you create the process types, and you will assign the process options to the process types. So this is the one. Then later, document type creation. Then you come here and where you create a document type. And then later, you create a document type determination, how you want to determine. So that you will maintain over here. So, and then if you have the country specific, then you go for a country specific. So these are the, same steps which we have done for PO. It's as like as PO, but the thing here is we may need to have a different process types, because invalid vendor and everything, and we may require different process types other than PO. So then you need to initiate, or you need to create as a NPO. These all process type creation. If you see over here, the process type you will be having the PO process types are different and non-PO one are different, because this execute in a different way. So you need to create in a such a way where you can identify both different ways. So like till 200 100 PO, and from 200 it's from NPO. So like that it is there. Yeah. So like you need to create in it like that. So this, as you said, it's the same configuration whatever we have PO, and it differs here. The difference is here the process option and process types are different. How the system define the business role. How it identifies the business role. So that is the difference. So we will see that one. I just wanted to highlight here. So then later, this configuration, once we done, it will trigger as the PO. But how and which stage the difference will happen. So difference will happen from here. First, the system will identify if it is a non-PO or PO. So the configuration which we do here, the system will differentiate. So then later it goes for the NPO related process or business rules. So that's how it ends. Once the business rules ends, so within the business rules, you may have approval required or validation required. So you will be having those process types over here. So based on that, it will trigger the workflow. So the workflow, what is the workflow? How it will be triggered. So that we will see. So basically, here we have when we execute, we will come to know. But yes, I'll for the for understanding, I'll just go through the document. So then, as you see the coder, we have the coder and a requisitioner. So the coder who enters the details of the cost object. So as you see in the chart of authority table, request or requisitioner, these are the two areas where the coder or requisitioner will take the action to the relevant cost object. What is a cost object? I mean to say, the cost object may be the bearing of the cost. Maybe it is maybe a WBS element, or it may be the cost center, or it may be any other cost object. Let's say if you go to the chart of authority, so you will find in this we have here. This is the chart of authority. If you see here, where you can see this is the coder and requisitioner. So if you see here, the coder who actually enters the GL and cost object. Where is that? If you see here, this will be entered by the coder. So it will be approved by the requester. So the whatever the coder approval workflow will trigger from this approval limit, and this is the way it triggers for the coder, and the approval request will be taken here. So the approval triggers from here. So coder. So here actually it will take the coder from this tab, and the approval requisitioner, whoever it is, it will take the approval from here based upon the cost center that we enter in the invoice. So
Ram,
And
sorry
we
to
can
interrupt
make-
you.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ram,
yeah.
Anil here.
Yeah, Anil, go ahead. Sorry.
So, sorry to interrupt in this scenario. Just I wanted to just take you back to the non-PO one. Similar to this non-PO, can we have a approval levels in case of a PO also based on the volume of the invoice or value of the invoice? Suppose if the invoice is 1 million and it is blocked for a posting, can someone can it be possible to have a multiple approvals? If it is below certain value, it should trigger a workflow to a certain business user. If it is beyond 1 million, it should trigger it to a 2 level of approvals. So can we have something like that in a PO blocking, unblocking also, PO invoice unblocking?
this is I think we discussed this one. Whenever you want to go for approval for any further approval for the multi-level approval that you want to extend in the PO. So this is the object, the function
Okay.
model that will help.
Okay.
For the,
Yeah, you told that. So multi-level means based on the volume, we can have a multi-level.
yes.
So maybe for certain kind of invoices based on the, if it is below 1 million, it will still continue to a one approval. If it is beyond that or beyond the certain parameters, it can be possible to trigger based on this function module, you mean to say.
You can write a code in a
If required, we can enhance further.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
So this is a T code, right? OPTBL check for approval.
No, this is the function model where you can. There's a function model where you can include the where you can write your own code here. So you can extend the things from the above help.
Mhm.
Okay, sir, you're asking something. Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, regarding that, here it is yesterday where we are changing the approval levels only here only, right? The expense type and all.
Yes. No, expense type which we create is in a different location here. Expense type,
Open text
you can see in the invoice workflow. and
approval workflow. Yeah, then we went to set up approval. Yeah, and maintain expense type, right?
maintaining the expense here.
Yeah.
So, yes.
Yeah, we maintained here expense type. Then we went to COA configuration. We went to where we went to. We went to for this.
We in the COA details tab, you will be having the approval details. And
Yeah,
the
but
sort of
just I'm missing the path to this. So I'm sorry. Can we go back?
there are, it is, see, it's a basically simple thing. For PO related, everything it will be there over here. And non-PO, everything will be, under this one. And anything document related, DP document, standard configuration will be under this one in a document processing. It is a general global configuration, you could say.
Okay.
In the PO specific, you can find here, and non-PO specific, you can see over here. And the invoice approval configuration, it comes under the NPO. So whatever the invoice configuration that relevant to sort of authority and everything, you will find under this invoice approval configuration. So the later and the cross components, you see everything. I mean, if you want to extend this to the other, return to where you want to confirm, or you want to send a trigger, a mail, or you can go with this one with the region codes. So let's say you maintain the region codes where you can choose that, and based upon the region codes, it will trigger a from external system to the external party. So maybe it's outside party where you can set up in the Vim workplace, or however you want to trigger. So if you when you send a vendor return, where you want to return to the vendor, you may have a different reason, right? Quantity or price issue or something, so you can send it right up. So that's how it the cross component, everything will be taken care from here. So this where you need to go, and you need to go under approval workflow, and then the setup approval chain, and you maintain the expense type over here. And once you maintain, you will find the expense type over here. So, so where if you want to add something like other other than the cost object, let's say you may have a different tables. Let's say you may have where you have a table actually. So this is the table where you can extend. You may add some other. We are missing some flow, but yes, let me show you. Learn or what? If you go to this table, okay. So here you can see these are the where you see now current which is activated expense type, and you see the company code and as well as the cost center. So if you see this one, so if you deactivate or if you want to add anything, let's say it's a non-PO based. You can see the main over here. Now we see the business area, a dual account, a plant. And let's say we can go with the WBS element. So you can say, and you can put
What is this HE which you are ticked here?
this
Oh,
one
header. Okay, got it.
line item, so it shows where it is actually. So it's basically if you untick this one, it's gonna be line item. If you tick, I think a WBS element will be there in the
Header level. Okay.
schedule level, or it must be in the line item level, right? So WBS will be there in the system. So just click on here. It should come. So here, you see here, it comes. So it's based upon your requirement. Maybe the cost object may not, cost, you may not, you may not have a situation where you want to distribute the or book the cost against the cost center. You may have some kind of WBHL profit center, so you can do that. Even you can do for profit center, maybe combination of profit center and cost center and GL account. So you may take a three combination. You can go ahead and you can maintain the approval. So that's how it works. So basically. So this we go and we understand. Okay. So basically, I just want to how the end-to-end process will work. So the so far what the configuration whatever we have done. So the only the part where it goes for the posting directly. So in order to trigger its workflow for the non-PO, you maintain a separate process types in the where you create a process types or business rules which will trigger, and it will the moment the business rules triggers, it will look for this table and it will go for a further approval based upon the setup that we do. Where we do that setup in the if you go here in the workflow approval. So you see the workflow approval setting here. This is the where you are saying to your system whether it is a baseline. I'll make you understand what is the baseline, or sequential or header level or parallel, approval process. So you are saying this, you will be assigning this, let's say FS. So you are assigning these are the fields that one approver gets the invoice where you can change or you can see the fields. So these again fields. If you take this, if you create your own AFS ID, then what you do once you create, you will assign to your DP document ID. So this is where the connection. So if you want to trigger, the approval workflow, you need to be assigned your DP document type to AFS ID. When this AFS ID works, when you have a document, when you have a process type which is assigned to your process type which assigned to your document type. What is that process type? I'll show you. Let's say if you go here NPO9, so here it's you will not find like this. So you will be seeing a approval required option. Approval required. You see here 250. So this is the one which if you assign this to your NPO as a default one, then that will trigger the workflow. So it will stop and it will trigger the next level approval, next level workflow. So this where it's bypassing the standard flow where it goes for the approval workflow, NPO approval workflow. So this is where I'm just saying the connection where it will help to trigger the workflow. Okay, so we have, as I said, we have three kind of, workflows that we have here. Here we have a header level workflow and a sequential workflow and parallel line based workflow. And guys, so I think in present, if you see the document which you have up to date, there are some changes in this workflow because the users, I mean, I used to work for, the client manufacturing where they use this one. This is like the header level, they will understand what is it. If it is based upon, let's say, if the header level approval, if you see the cost center, one line item has a 50,000 and another one has a, where, 1 lakh, let's say. So here, and the system takes the gross amount into the consideration. It's 1,50,000. In header level, whichever line item has the highest, amount, that cost center will be picked. Thus, that cost center will be picked. This is like a header level work. So this you will be understanding quickly in the system. But whereas if you come to the sequential line item workflow, where you have a multiple, line items and it keeps looping everything. I mean, you will be confused who needs to approve, and that's what I faced actually. So I mean, I'm just hinting that. So basically, this workflow has been, I guess, in the updated one, I think it's been changed. But most of the thing, most of the time, maybe this the workflow which is in the current one, maybe it may not be fulfilled. Maybe you need to go for extension, or basically if the invoice volume is less and you have a less invoice volume, where you can go for approval within what is it, SAP, then you can go for a header level approval flow, and even you can go for the sequential line item, but you need to, what you say, you need to educate the user, because I used to support, and where I used to receive the most of the day, the users used to quit, and if I make them understand, the next day they used to come and tell me what again we need to make them understand. Generally it is logically, it takes some time to understand and make them understand. So as you understand this header level, how it works, if you have the cost center of the 2 line items or 3 line items, if you take here the system in the header level, it will take the gross amount in the consideration in order to pick the uh, approver. So if it takes the consideration this amount and it goes for the line item whichever has the highest amount. So here is the highest amount, and the cost center is 1,000. Whatever the approval we maintain against this cost center will be picked, and that he will be approving. It will not be considering the first line item. So that is the one flow. And this line item, sequential line item, I'll make you understand. And this one I next we discuss the, we'll go with the this configuration thing. So the first, we create the NPO document type for our this again is first. So here, what we need to do first, we need to create a role. Just go to role, and here 9CX5, we are creating our role. Where we need to create, it's a 005 because it is a DP processing. So what we are doing, NPO NPO Okay. And since we are using the field-based template, you always need to click here is the key determination tick. Otherwise, we will get an error. I think we have seen that. So we created a one row. We'll come back. And what we need to do is we need to create a template definition. So we just create a template definition. What is that? NPO. Just create the template.
Or can't we use the existing template, Ram? We can use, right? Existing one.
Yes, no issues on that. We can use the existing, but I make to make you understand. I'm just
Okay, I got it.
so now we have created a template, and what the template should have. You just click on the fields. In what basis you want to click the? It is a company code. The reference table 3001 reference. In allow the ranges means it allows the ranges. When you choose the company code in the wildcard, it will allow the stars where you can put in the star. And here you can choose what is the product code of the template that you want. So here the for 005 even 001. The attribute, let's save it. And from here, and just click on new entry in the product code. Just use the product code. What we are doing, we are assigning the role to the role template. So what is the role that we created? NPO AP. So the template that we created also NPO AP. So this we have assigned and we kept it as active. So now we have a role side we have good. So now this role should have some users. So then you go back to the simple mode, and where you find that you will find in the 00 under 005 product code because it is a DP processing. So now the company code is the best one. We just choose the company code over here, and the user code. User, and just put your DS. Just save it.
So this is gonna be our SAP user ID, right?
Yes, it's gonna be SAP user ID.
Okay.
So now we have role side we have ready. So who has to get the invoices for business rules? Triggers. So now what we need to do is we need to make a business role now. So then you go to the customization now and you look for the document processing and you go to the process configuration, maintain your process type, whichever you want to create. And basically what the suggestible option is, you always copy the existing one and you make it your own. So what are the process types you want to copy? You just want to copy the invalid vendor. So you just copy this one. And you assign your initial role. First thing here is you just 851. Let's see if it works. Okay, just click copy all. Just click over here, and you need to change the initial role. No, it is sorry guys. You need to copy the NPO role. I copied. Just go back. Scroll down. You will be finding the NPO role. Copy all this from the invalid vendor to not one. And what are all there? You just invalid and here invalid company code. You just choose attach there. Invalid company. It is there for PO. But anyway, it doesn't make any sense invalid. Other than few of the things, but we can copy this one as well. Invalid company because it refers to the same one and reference is required. So you just check the reference is required. Just take this 33 as well. And gross amount. When missing mandatory information in the header. You just take this as well. There is a gross amount. Some people will delete this standard one. this one. So invalid. Let's say this one we take it as a 830. Let's see if it works. Yes. It is in 0. And you have the 831 and just copy. We are just copying the all the things. We have 832. We are just renaming the one that we copied. And 833. And 834. So these are the one which we created, and the initial actor that we need to do it here is, what is that we created in PO AP, right? So just assign this one here.
Ram, your voice is low, can't hear you clearly.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, it is good now.
Yeah, I'm just yes. Here we need to assign our role here as an initial actor for this one. Okay. So then you just save it. Exception, right? You need to know the exception. You just save it. What you need to do here is you need to come to the each process option. You just come here.
Ram, again, I can't hear you correctly. Are you guys also facing the same problem, or I am the one facing this issue?
No, yeah, I got the same problem too. Sometimes it is going very low, Ram's voice, yeah.
Okay, just a second. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it
it's
is good now. It's good now. But in between, actually, it is dropping and it is not at all audible.
Okay. So now we just need to just remove this one and just select all. Just remove it. Create a new entries. You always have to create a two mandatory option, that is 2000. You just need to assign and apply roles to interval. You will be having a function model. This is the function model that you need to assign. Later, whichever required, you can assign it. Just come back. And the next one, just click on the process options. Just select all, just delete it. Just click on new entries. Just come back. Just come back. We have 32 and select all. Just delete it and just click on new entries. Choose the actor, initial actor, 2012, and choose the initial actor and check FM. This one validates, check FM validates everything, I mean the rule which are there. So we need to always make sure that these are the mandatory ones. Just click on this like this, it's done, right? It's 32. Here the same. I think it is not because it is actually the custom one we done it, right? So it is not taken. There is nothing to copy, so it is empty. So just create here. It goes with the same 34. Just click over here. Okay, check it. So now we are ready with the process options and process types, and you can say it's a business rules and which are activated. So now what we need to do is we just need to go back to our DP document creation. You just choose the standard one. And here, what is the standard one here? You just can copy this one. I can copy either you can NP or global. Just you copy. Here you just need to rename it like the same the role I created, and I just renamed it and just copy all. Just copy and do not save it. Just come here. Okay, do not save. Whatever we create, we just go there, NPO, AP, just click here and you just select all and delete. And next tab as well. Just select all. Syed, this is good for you because we have done whenever you come, before you come. So we discussed it is a good thing that we done the same thing. So just trace. So sequence we will find anything here. Just select all and delete. So what are the tabs you need to delete? You need to create, till in index screen option you need to delete. So basically you need to you need to delete the things which are there in the 3 tabs, which are specific to the for that document, any document. So if you create, then you can do it your own. You can assign your own logic. So you just save it now. So here when you go here, now it's your DP document is NPO DP document is created. So what are the things that you need to remember here? Make sure it is NPO1, and make sure you assign the the archive document type over here that you created in the initial stage. And the default process type that you want to trigger in the default, where when the system wants to, once you clear the everything, then it's gonna be like a trigger the whether it is background post, or whether it is auto post, whether it is foreground post. You can set up that, and you can assign that role over here. In the rescan role, when you have the scanner, when you have a scanning issue, then you can assign this to the role, and where you can see in the Vim, and you can go and rescan it. So you can create a one if the PDF is not clear, and then where you cannot see the invoice. In that case, you can go with this one, and where you have the posting rules. So when you want to process a dialogue, where is the dialogue posting, instead of when you have some kind of issue with the invoice. So you want to post in the the front end, where you can post that you can assign a role who can post in the dialogue mode in the front end. So instead of going in the background, so you can give that role over here, and you can the user can process, and you can have the duplicate group check. How you can group the duplicate check. So I guess we have discussed this as well. I just want to highlight over here. So the duplicate check happens based upon our setup. So where it is there, here it should be. Just a second. Okay, check. You see here only. So this is the one where you maintain the duplicate. Let's say it's a based upon the criteria. If you see here, you can maintain the number one, which checks the invoice date and the gross amount and vendor reference number for the NPO. So that has been taken here. This is a role, duplicate role. If this invoice, any invoice considered as a duplicate, then this role will be assigned to that invoice where this user can NPO duplicate check. User can check whether it is really the the duplicate or not. So that's how based on this criteria where you can maintain, you can group your you can create your own as well. So if this doesn't fulfill your criteria, so maybe if you want to go ahead and you can create your own, you can add your fields from the invoice which you want to cross check the combination of the fields.
So here it means it checks all the fields, and if the amount is if all the values are matching, then only it will stop, or it will say duplicate, right?
Yes. So it should not generally match.
Okay, at least one of the field is different means it will pass.
Yes. So now we come here. So this one is done. So the other one, we have a tax configuration, and over here the SAP tax logic in the OTX table. We have the table standard table. SAP standard tables that will actually takes from this logic. If you choose, it goes for the standard one, and if you go here, it goes with the open text table that we have here. I'll show you that table as well. And the SAP tax determination logic. If you have any logic, that is standard SAP one, you can choose this one. Or if you have any other custom tax, determination.
Any example like how these 4 kinds will work differently?
No, I used this one, the first one, which will work on the standard one, SAP tax determination logic. If you choose, it's a standard one, and I use this custom, and we have a one source custom one source tax engine. So where you will be having a create your function model, and you will be assigning the tax function model over here, so that it triggers so for the tax relevant calculation.
What about if they have a third party tools like a Vertex and all?
Yeah, whatever the third party you will be assigning over. So it will help. It will help to calculate the tax. So it will take the calculation part from here.
Mhm.
In this one, as I said, there is a custom table, and that if you maintain the tax rate over there, it automatically takes the tax code. It automatically determines the tax code. Let's say invoice has the 20%. So if you maintain in the table as a 20%, and against the tax code, so if system identifies as a 20%, then whatever we maintain the tax code against the 20%, it will pick up. So invoice may not have the tax code, but if they could provide the tax rate, so based upon that, the tax determination in the open text table that we maintain, it will take up. And I haven't come across this one, SAP tax determination logic, and these are the 3 things. If you have any other, basically, if you have any other third party one, you create your own calculation, and you will assign the function model where it triggers and calculate the pop-up the tax rates. Here we have the PO1. So we have here also logic. So PO auto line will be created and here. So maintain the auto line determination procedure over here. So that's how it works. And the next thing what we need to do here is we need to change our default one. Let's assign our roles to BP. Just go on new, and what we created is 830 valid vendor. Just click on active and just go again in 831. Just to make it active. And then we created 832. Okay. And later 833 we created. We haven't changed the name of the here. Doesn't matter, but yeah. Created 834 as well. Just so out of this three, out of this four, you need to create. You need to choose one of the process type business rules as a default one. So which one you need to choose? You can always go with any of this one. Basically, we go with the last one which is there because it's a sequential one. So where you sequence this one, you need to create the sequence over here. Which one has to be created first? So the first role you create 830. It's again based upon your requirement. Which one has to be? It's a logical thing. So when you enter the invoice in FB16, so logically what you do, you create the first you enter what you enter, you will enter the the company code and date. That's how the logic should be. And the same sequence of the data which we enter, we just sequence them here. Nothing else. So we go with the 833. Just choose it. Just save. And now 834 is we chosen as a default process type 834. So what you need to do here is it's an NPO. For NPO, what is the the online offline posting, background posting? Let's see if it is NPO. No, you need to check the BDC ID. And guys, basically some BDC IDs are got absoluted. Actually they are like you see here the 34, which is not OpenText is not supporting any more. Actually they created a what is this 34? They created a new one, so you need to always check when we are signing. So it should be 34 here. Choose the online one. That is absolute. So you choose the saved, and we already maintained the sequence. So here, and you just need to remember you have chosen the 834 and you need to mention over here. If you forget, then system will again, choose the same 230, 207, whatever you maintain, the default one, it will come. Even though you maintain in the document process, and you need to always change the role over here. And posting roles, which okay. And now the sequence. So invalid vendor, how you want to identify this one, how the system will identify. So you need to always check, as I said, reverse engineering. So just go back. Just always check the one which we copied. Where is that? In the document types. Go to the end. This one, invalid vendor. So invalid vendor, how it will identify? Just check the this is okay. Now we are looking for an invalid one vendor from the global. So now we go here. Just check. This one. Just go to the invalid vendor and here you will see we have the function module. So this is the function module which helps to identify the vendor. So you need to do like this. This is a kind of checking the. In the next one we have the vendor invoice reference. Just click on here and you come here again and check vendor invoice reference. Missing, just you click here. Just come here and the reference field is XB LNR. It's a table field, right? Just to which table it refers. Which table it will be there. So it has a BKP here. Okay. But here it's accepted. Okay. So sorry guys, I'm really sorry. So here this graphs, it's not a table field. It is a required field where it's a reference that needs to be entered. So you can put in a way where you want to, it is an input mode. It will not be available in the table level, right? When it's coming. So the PKPF level, it will not be available. So it is just like a As long as you post the invoice, it will not be available in the BKPF or any table. So it is a just so far it is the validation. So you need to maintain as a so then later just come back and missing mandatory information. Just erase it. Missing mandatory information. So here you can see 238. Come here. Just take this one, put some model, and just come back again and click steps. Okay, fine. Save this one. So now what we have, the last one is we have the invalid company code. This is the invalid company code. So basically, you will understand what I mean. So basically, where you will find invalid company code and which table. So basically, once you do, then you will understand the logical thing actually. So if you let's say now you don't have anything reference, so you just click here, and you want to just go with this invalid company code. What you do? Invalid company code is a field. It's a table field. In which table it is? It is a T001. So where it is available? It's a T001 table, right? So what is the field? It's a book arts. So like that, I mean. So the based upon the things that you try to identify, you can make it as logic over here. Okay, now we got it. So now we have done the sequence and how the sequence steps will be executed logic. So now we are assigning the screen options to the process. Let's say what we have created 8030. 8030. And what is the role here? We have created a role, right? Our role here in GOAP. Let allow us just simulate. You can see the bypass options. Just 831. Just same over here. Some 832. 833. And as I said, I mean, if this this role gets invoice, it can change. Allow changes means you can change the invoice, and you can duplicates if anything. You can see the duplicates, and you can enable the simulation enable, and basically which tab you can see you can manage from here. You can control from this area. So basically. So we have 834 as well. We need to assign 834 as well, because even though if it's a default, so make sure you having the options to change or something. So that's the reason we need to assign. Save it. In header configuration. In the header configuration, if you see here, which are the header one, if you want to make it as a required one, just check. You see the email ID is required because we need to enter the email ID, gross amount required. So basically, whichever you want, you can hide or display from here. So basically, so let it be a standard one. And here is best. Improve this one. So this is the line item limit. We have HQL as input. Yeah, it will be the one. And here you assign the archiving document if you have a more than one. So you just assign the document type, whichever, how many, let's say you may have one or two or three. So you can go ahead, based upon that. So how if you assign the DP document archiving document types here, so you may when you are scanning, make sure you are scanning from the document archiving document type. So in OAWD, if you create a resetting folder, so this should be based upon your archiving document type, so that system, so it is, if you, let's say if you have a 1 or 2, if you scan from 1, it will go for the same document type. If you scan for 2 also, because you assigned over here, so that's how the system, this document type will recognize. And back end, the scanning will happen, and sorry, in the back end, it will, the archiving sits where it's supposed to sit. So based upon the configuration. So that's how it works. Even you can assign a multiple document types and make sure your OAWD scanning is happening based upon the archiving document type, whatever you assign. So that if you, even though it is only one document type, DP document type, you may have multiple archiving document types. So the input which you may input from different archiving document type, but basically the logic will be remain same, right? So it is a kind of 1:n. So maybe you can say you may have one document type and many archiving document type. It's a kind of that. So it's a 1:n relationship. So that's how it works. Okay, so I think today I have some work at 8 o'clock. So we will connect maybe max, I would say, tomorrow maybe I'll inform, because as Akshay shared, he has something that we'll try to do it as much as we can, and Subbu will inform you guys. So tomorrow we will. I mean, we have done the configuration. Tomorrow we simulate and we discuss the workflow as well, the rest of the workflows, and I'll go ahead. Okay.
Yeah, and regarding tomorrow, Ram, since it is a working day, we can limit this to just 1 hour and maybe 45
Yes,
minutes.
yes. Even I have even I work for US. 8:30 they will come. So maybe I'll try to do that. Okay.
Got it. And one more thing, Ram, can you please share your contact information, email ID, or phone number, something, WhatsApp number, something, please?
Yeah, I have I shared it, right. I think that email ID. Okay, and Anil, can you share the email ID that I guess you got
Yes,
the.
Syed, I forwarded the invite. You can refer to the email
Okay.
ID below.
Got it.
That is Akshay Bhushan.
Akshay Bhushan. Okay. Akshay Bhushan.
And
Okay.
yeah, Ram, can you also share the configuration documents for the other stuff we received only for process types and roles, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
similarly, do you have yeah?
Yes, I'll share this NPO one. So
Yeah, please.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
okay, guys.
Okay, bye.
So
Bye.
yeah.
Thank you.